It's festive time and I'm celebrating Diwali with the most positive girl I know from the industry. Athiya Shetty, thank you for joining
Hello,
us.
thank you for having me.
Tell me, what is one ritual that you always do during this time?
We always have a little puja at home. I think we've been doing it since I was born, but now I'm taking part, and I've been given the torch to do the puja now. So I think that started about 3-4 years ago. So even if I'm shooting, I try and come home for one day to do that puja. So that's always really special.
How does a Shetty household look on Diwali? कैसा दिखता है?
So it looks like a half Punjabi house because my mom's Punjabi and a half Shetty house. So we eat South Indian food, but the decorations and all are Punjabi. So it's a mixed house.
And are there the usual fanfare of Diwali parties and
Yeah, that happens every year, but I feel like this year I'm just gonna be like, I can't dress up. I'm tired of dressing up and doing hair and makeup. I'm just gonna chill and like have a good time. So no like parties this time. I think since a young age actually I've never been allowed to, burst firecrackers because my nani has an organization, Save the Children India, and they work very closely with, um, human trafficking and children and child labor. So ever since I was young, I've never burst firecrackers, and I feel like as I've grown older, I understand why, for the environment and also for the children who are actually making these crackers. And I have a little dog at home who's petrified, and every Diwali or every festive season, he's under my dressing table hiding from the world because he's so petrified, and I feel so bad. So if I can do my bit, why not?
yeah, and you keep it simple by having a little sweets and lighting that little lamp, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. That, I think Diwali is the festival of lights, and then we should celebrate that. So that's what we do.
Yeah, like you always have the Khans fighting for that Diwali weekend.
Yeah.
So to have a movie around that must be special.
It is. I feel like it's special because we also get to do promotions at a time where everyone's celebrating, and it just feels like a happier, just warmer time. So it's always nice to meet people when everybody's happy and festive.
Now, we were just talking about Motichoor Chaknachoor
Yes.
some time back, and how you were telling me that this was a little out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
but you also wanted to sort of stick by what you
Yeah.
chose and said that, you know what, I will do the
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
Tell me, why initially did you think you were not the right fit for it?
Because I questioned if I'd be able to pull the character off. I knew I'd be able to do it with a lot of hard work and conviction and all of that, but then it's very difficult to say yes, but then you have to be authentic and very real and true to the character. I can't be dressing up as a girl from the city and having the body language of somebody who lives in a city, and then just speaking in the dialect. It doesn't make sense. Then you genuinely just have to break your mold, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, and then kind of just be in that character and sink in. So I wasn't sure if I was able to do that, and I was really intimidated, because I genuinely feel like I manifested this role, this character, and this script, because I was looking to do something that would just satisfy me as an actor. I love workshops. I love working hard towards a character. Like just the preparation part of it, I genuinely feel like if you're prepared, then half the battle is won there. Because then when you're on set, you can have fun with your character. You can have that equation with your co-star where you can improvise and just make it fun, and then that's where the magic comes alive. So for me, I feel like the entire preparation of Annie as a character was so much fun because it kind of just made me so much more confident in myself, and it just kind of broke my shell, and it was also so much fun. So I'm glad I stuck to my gut and said yes.
You've been handling and discussing the nepotism debate for quite some time.
Yes.
Was it also necessary to choose characters that would show that you're beyond that name that is attached to you, and you can do it? Was it important for you to prove that as well?
I think yes, it was important for me to prove that, but as I've grown older, I've realized that as actors, we're constantly seeking validation. And how long can you seek that validation for? At the end of the day, you need to be confident in yourself, because that's what reflects. Even as a character, as an actor, they say that your eyes can't lie and you can't lie in front of the camera. So it's really important to have that courage and to be true to yourself. And I think this character, like we were discussing, is out of my comfort zone, but I feel like I needed to get out of my comfort zone. I needed to take that risk and I needed to take that leap of faith, because it would only help me at the end. And that's exactly what happened in terms of me being able to stand in front of a Nawazuddin Siddiqui and deliver lines and feel confident in front of the camera. So be it nepotism, be it anything else, I feel like if you're confident, at the end of the day, it's not going to be written as Sunil Shetty's daughter on screen. It's there's pressure on us, there's pressure on everybody working today, whether you're a star kid or not a star kid. I guess, being, I hate this term only, star kid, but I feel like, yes, we get a platform, yes, we are known, but then at the end of the day, it's what you do and how you, decide to handle your career, the ups and downs. And I feel like ups and downs are part of not everybody's careers, but life as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that you have to just learn along the way.
I want to ask you, what is the advice you got and you did not follow, and that still makes you happy today?
That still makes me happy today.
Yeah, that advice that you were given and you didn't follow.
There was, when you're doing your first film, I feel like there are so many people telling you, oh, you should look like this, and you should be like this, and you should behave like this, and don't be like this. And there was a point where I was trying really, really hard to be somebody I was not.
You were?
Yeah, because initially when you're told so many things, you're like, okay, no, I have to sit like this. I can't say this in an interview. I can't be like this. What are people going to think about me? And I feel like because there are so many people judging you and you have so many eyeballs, maybe they're just trying to be helpful. But at the end of the day, I just realized I just need to be myself. And I think that's what people like about you at the end of the day. If you're yourself and if you're honest, because that's what comes through. And that's exactly what I did. I just decided to just do what makes me happy. Not in a selfish way, but I feel like I needed to put myself first and what makes me feel comfortable. Because if I'm uncomfortable, you can tell.
Yeah.
So there's no point in faking it. So I just decided not to be anything I was not.
That sort of reflects in your fashion choices per se as well, right? Parties have seen you dressed, pantsuits and stuff that'll sort of probably give room for you to be yourself in.
Yeah, I feel like, everybody thinks that, oh, she must be taking fashion so seriously and all. I really don't. I'm very sure about what I want. And I genuinely take comfort over anything else, because I feel like if I'm comfortable, then automatically you're confident. And that should reflect. It really doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you can carry it off, that's great. So that's exactly what I do, and I dress according to my mood.
In Diwali though, I know this time you have plans of only being in PJs throughout.
Yes.
But for the past few years, you've put in so much effort during this time, especially in Diwali or pujas and Ganpati. What would be your sort of ideal choice then, and how do you would you dress yourself in?
I love white. I'm obsessed with the color white, so I'd always pick a really pretty white or ivory lehenga with minimal jewelry and big hair and simple makeup. That's my go-to look, I think, in any festive season. So yeah.
And I was discussing this with Nawaz, and Nawaz said that, like the others, it does not have too much physical comedy he believes in.
Yeah.
You've done physical comedy, not the extremes that he mentioned.
Yeah.
You've been a part of Mubaraka, and you've been a part of that as well. Now, would you tell me what did you enjoy more?
See, the thing, I'm going to say that even in Mubaraka, what Anisa always told me was be yourself and be true to the character. Even in that film, I feel like in any film, I feel like comedy is a very tough genre because it's all about timing. But what Nawaz has taught me is less is more, what I've observed from him. You don't necessarily need to be exaggerated, you don't need to be out there to be funny. In this film, it's all about situations, it's all about just being true to the character and being yourself. and then automatically it's funny because there's so much honesty between two characters and two actors. That's what reflects. And that's what I've learned, that it's about timing, but it's also about just being very, very honest to the lines, to the character.
And you're often also advised that, keep doing movies or keep doing things because it's important to be in limelight and out of sight, out of mind, and all of that.
I hate that phrase.
Right? But people
tell me this all the time, out of sight, out of mind.
Right?
And
they
it
do.
really upsets me.
It does?
Yeah. I mean, I've never understood the phrase. I've genuinely never understood what does that mean. You need to be seen, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it works for some people, but I just feel like if you're good, you will get noticed. If a director wants to work with you and he likes your work, he will call you. So I've never really understood that, but I also understand the other side of it and how, I mean, it could work for some people.
You don't believe in the philosophy, obviously, because you waited it out for some time.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had offers that were coming in.
Yeah.
Primary reasons of you sort of not doing the kind of roles that are being offered to you within a similar zone. And why did you think that I will be patient enough to wait it out?
I think in this profession, we forget that patience is also a very, very big part of it. And not only being patient when I say that, sitting at home and waiting, but also doing things in your free time that kind of help you become a better actor. You can never stop learning. So that's exactly what I was doing. I genuinely feel like I needed to better my craft. I needed to be more confident as an actor. And I needed something that was fulfilling, that I could, go back home and feel like, okay, I've done something today. Not that I didn't feel that in Mubaraka or Hero, but I genuinely feel like I needed a character that kind of pushed the envelope. And I wanted to take that risk. I wanted to kind of break my own mold and get rid of that fear of what's going to happen next and what am I going to do next. Because I feel like every actor, no matter what stage they're in, is always thinking about what's going to happen next, which is inevitable. But I feel like I needed to wait it out to kind of figure out what I could do that would push my own envelope. How could I be better? How could I be a better actor, better artist, and do something different? You don't know what the fate of any film is. You have to let go of it on that Thursday. But I feel like the process is something that I learned so much about, not only as an actor, but also it made me more confident in myself and made me more independent, and working with such great actors just taught me so much. And I feel I really, really, was blessed and I'm so grateful that I was given this opportunity.
But at some level, there is a struggle with budget, especially if the lead is a female. It's still there.
It is. It's really sad that it's there. But
that's exactly what I was...
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's where I was going in. I said, even if the film is quirky or you have two female leads in it, I'm sure ultimately you'd also want to be a part of a film where you have another actor, yourself, and it centers around you, and not to find a funding for it will be to be in a bad position.
I feel like times have changed. Whether you see Sonam and Kareena, where they did Veer the Wedding, and then you have an Anushka Sharma who are kind of pushing the envelope and saying that this is what it is, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And kind of proving themselves, which is sad that they need to prove themselves because they're such talented actors. But I guess it's sad that this is how the world functions. It's not only our industry, it is every industry in the world. It is male dominating. But I feel that things are changing and people are taking women more seriously now. And but I also feel like certain films, like for me, for example, I need to prove myself as an actor. I need to prove myself at the box office for a producer to be able to put their money on me. So I understand that completely. But there are two sides. There are pros and cons. So in my case, yes, tomorrow I would love to do a female lead and a film surrounded and based on me and my character. But I have to prove myself for a producer to put that money on the table. And that I completely stand by. But I think things are changing now, and hopefully we'll see that more in the future.
And that's exactly what you're also self-critical?
Very. Very, very, very.
Tell me how. Explain to me how self-critical you are.
I'm happy that I'm self-critical. I'm happy that I'm very, very, like, I'm never happy with what I do because I always feel like I can do better. So that helps me work harder and pushes me and gives me that motivation that and courage that, oh no, you can do better. And so I think that's a good thing. Some people think it's negative, but I think it's realistic, and it's a good thing that you have that where you don't feel like, okay, chalo, I've achieved everything now and I think I've done a great job. Because then I feel like that's when your downfall happens.
Yeah, and also then you can know exactly where to improve.
Yeah, exactly. So you always have ways to improve. Like after every shot, I go back and I used to think like, okay, I could have done this better and that better. And sometimes overthinking was also not a great thing. But then you always know that, when you have the opportunity to perform, you can keep those things in mind.
Can you imagine you're a senior to your brother? Like in the industry.
To my brother. Mentally, I'm definitely not a senior to him because he's very mature and very put together, unlike me. But yeah, it kind of feels really strange. Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm a proud big sister already.
But did you discuss it with Ahan?
That's the only advice I gave him. Listen to everybody, but do what you want. Because I think that's important to kind of know beforehand, because again, you're constantly seeking validation from everybody else. You kind of forget and lose that inner voice, which I think is your gut is your biggest intuition, and that should be always intact. But I feel like he's more, he has his head on his shoulders and he's very, very clear. Like this is exactly what I want, this is what I don't want. So I will listen to you, but then if I don't want to listen to you, I won't listen to you. And he's very honest about that. Like he's very straightforward and honest, which is what I love about him.
You had dealt with all your am I single or not single, and you were dating and not dating rumors very well. So that I'm sure you must have told him, listen, this is how I dealt with it. Because you had to deal with first Arjun, then others, a lot of rumors that you dealt with, which you continue to do.
Whoever can write whatever they want, they can say whatever they want, not like they're ever going to get an answer from me. So I'm just like, go ahead, write away.
So you're saying you're single, no?
I am.
No, so is this the advice you gave Ahan as well? Say, listen,
I've told him that, in your first film, you're going to get linked up. Your second film, you might. Your third, you will. The fourth, you will. So you just be cool and, we're both very, very honest to each other. Yeah. So if we know the truth, then it doesn't really matter. I feel like the media is great now because they give you the space, and when the person wants to come out, when they feel that they're ready, because that's also a period where you need to feel like, okay, I'm confident in this relationship. Now I'm ready to share, which some people might not be. Fair enough. So each to their own, I feel. That's important.
Diwali, tell me one childhood memory of yours that you particularly remember.
The envelopes my grandparents give me. I used to wait and wait. And I used to steal my brother's also because he was younger than me. So I used to be like, no, this is mine, but I'll give you some because, you're younger and all. I'll share with you, don't worry. And happily take his money also. So,
You're bully.
But now I can't do that.
Now you can't do that. Unfortunately, he'll not give you. But tell me, what is that one gift that you remember buying?
To waste my money. I used to buy absolute rubbish.
like random chocolates and things like
that. Randomly, I used to buy, there was nothing meaningful I've gotten from Diwali. I used to just get so overwhelmed and excited. I used to just spend it on rubbish. So I don't remember buying anything proper on Diwali.
The girl who's sitting in front of me, from the one who debuted, what has changed and what is it that you feel that you'd want to do more?
Definitely want to do more films and work more and constantly do things that challenge me. I feel like that gives me a kick and that gives me that, that satisfaction and fulfillment. The girl is the same, honestly. I don't feel like I've changed much. I just feel like I feel like I'm more balanced now.
In what way?
In terms of as a person, personally and professionally, I feel like I have more of a balance. I don't take things too seriously anymore. I don't stress as much. But inherently, I'm the same person, I feel. And I'm happy about that. But I've definitely become more confident about myself and have that courage.
This calm attitude of yours, does it also reflect when you're dealing with the amount of criticism that comes across your way on social media?
Honestly...
Or to be more specific, with the hate that comes across?
I think ever since my first film, I've never indulged in reading comments. Never. I just didn't, honestly, I found out about YouTube comments 3 months ago.
No.
I promise you, I didn't know there were YouTube comments.
Did you read the comments for the film?
No, and I don't want to.
Like, never?
Never. I never indulge. Good, bad, I just don't want to know. I take critics seriously, I do. Like, when it comes to
reviews
my work and stuff, reviews and all, I want to know, like, I want to know their perspective, and it's subjective, but I want to know. But I've never indulged in reading comments. I didn't even know I didn't know about YouTube comments. Like, I might sound like really silly and stupid. And I feel like I'm very happy maybe living in my little bubble, because I understand if you're giving me criticism on my acting, which I'll take. I want to learn. I want to be better. But now if you're telling me, hey, I don't like your hair, and I don't like your eyebrows, and I don't like your eye color, I can't change that. And I'm not going to take that seriously, because if this is the way I am, take it or leave it. So, I mean, it depends what criticism comes your way, and how you have to learn how much to take and how much to kind of just be like, cool, thanks, you can keep it to yourself. Comments on my Instagram so far have genuinely been positive. I've never had any, like, Twitter I think is more negative than Instagram, to be honest, because I don't know, I feel like it sometimes gets a bit much, but then again I don't check mentions, I don't check any of that, and I feel like honestly you can choose what you want to do with your social media, and it's the power that you have, and I genuinely use it to create awareness, which whatever I feel is important, whether it comes to animals or the environment. And I'm obsessed with these motivational quotes, so I keep like sewing those quotes, and that's also what ends up popping up on my feeds, because that's what I like to look at. So it's your energy. You can create your own energy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.